nest is rising strong and true. Sharing wisdom, me and you. Clap, clap, clap for the truth we seek. Every answer, week by week.
Yo, microphone check 1 2. This ain't no ordinary stream. From the ashes, Phoenix talks manifest in a dream. Got a growing channel, YouTube's where the wisdom resides. For all the nest members, no truth can ever hide. She's an under-detective on the digital beat, questioning the unthinkable, bringing fire to the heat. With a mind so advanced, highly intelligent and bold, part of the hive mind with birdie stories to unfold. Common sense is a superpower, cutting through the noise, unlocking closed minds, amplifying all our voices.
Phoenix, Phoenix, what do you see? Unlocking knowledge for you and me. The nest is rising strong and true. Sharing wisdom, me and you. Clap, clap, clap for the truth we seek. Every answer, week by week. Phoenix, Phoenix, what do you see? Unlocking knowledge for you and me. The nest is rising strong and true. Sharing wisdom, me and you. Clap, clap, clap for the truth we seek. Every answer, week by week.
Whoop, whoop. Happy, happy, happy. Can I say happy one more time? Happy Monday to you all, July 21st, 2025. And just a big shout out to the amazing little nesters. So, welcome to the nest, you little nesters. Come on in, hit a thumbs up and subscribe. Make sure, because it's free, make sure you set all your settings to all, and hopefully you all can hear me loud and clear today. How is everyone doing? Drop where you're tuning in from. I see a lot of you OGs in the box. Love it, chat. Molly, I see ya, I hear ya. Lulu Bell, welcome, welcome. Howdy. You must be in Texas. Good evening. Let's see what Phoenix has for us. Well, welcome on in. Welcome on in, Patty. Hey, Phoenix. Hey, Phoenix. Hey, Aileen. Welcome to the chat. If this is your first time, welcome to the nest. Hot intro, isn't that? Hey, Trudy, welcome on in. Aileen, welcome on in. Hey, Les. Hey, Karen. Mama G in the house. Trudy. Yes, yes. Hello, everyone. All right. Trump wants both justice and an honest judicial system. He plays 10-level chess. You are spot on. And this is exactly what we will be chit-chatting about today, because wasn't everyone shocked? Yep, national security. if you guys weren't shocked, what do you think now about what's going on behind the scenes? Is that just not a little indication that something is so wrong in this Kohberger case? I truly think messing with our Constitution the way he wants justice. Absolutely. What does it even look like? Yeah, right? So proud of our progress. Oh my gosh, if you're part of the collective hive, this is just a little nest for the hive. I'm so excited to see what happens on Wednesday, y'all. I'm just like giddy like a high school girl. Okay. I love how happy Phoenix is. Yeah, I mean, that just solidified what we were getting into and what we were exploring and what we were finding out, especially on our live digs. But this is not a political debate because if you know me, I am not for, and I just want to preface this, there are certain things I don't talk about. I don't talk about religion for a reason. I don't talk about politics for a reason. But I will say, when you have the leader of our free country speaking on a true crime case, something ain't right. Something ain't right, y'all. Kind of like that old saying, Houston, we have a problem. That is why all the secrecy. What is with it? Why did he break his silence on this? Is it about justice or distrust? And in the political system in our country, many of us know that this thing is broken. And like I've always said, I've always thought outside of the realm of Republican or Democrat, I have always sided with independent. And that was after I got out of the military and I realized what it was all about. Now, my guy on the ticket on the party this last election, he didn't make it, and that's okay, but he's in a very influential role in our country to help get us into a better system. So, all of you in Kansas, woo, South Africa, welcome on in. I bet you guys are wondering, what in the heck? Why is America such a shit show right now? Well, this is part of the problem in our country that we want our constitutional rights preserved. We want them preserved. And if you've been following the case of Brian Kohberger, I just did a live the other day. There's a video. It is growing and it is about our constitutional rights that may even been overstepped. Hey, Sandy, welcome in. Welcome in. And you know what, Steve G, if you're out there, Idaho is on the map. You're welcome. Idaho is shaking in their boots. This case, yes, it makes me angry. Brian needs to speak up. If I were him, I would remain silent. Let the shit show happen all around you if ever in a storm. There's a lot out there. Truth spoke about this. Trump knows how corrupt the FBI, DOJ, etc. are. We have been shouting it. There's a certain thing, a level that we can say and we can't say. If you go back and watch my videos, watch our lives, how many times have I called the three-letter agency? How many times have I said their name? The FBI gave Kohberger's name to Moscow. I think this is awesome. We must get the attention of the Delphi. Yeah, Richard Allen, I believe so too. I believe he was wrongfully convicted, in my humble opinion. Oh my God, I don't know where to start the live. You're welcome on in. Come on in. The world is now, yep, it became a national, international. The world is watching this case. And a lot of people, oh my gosh, I made a video on the TikTok streets. They just don't get it, guys. Some people haven't opened up to their eyes to this psychological warfare that we have been watching for the last 2.8 years because there is something else going on behind this case that people just don't look at. And we have got to help our fellow Americans understand when you see something that you question, you're like, it doesn't pass the smell test. Yeah, you're right. It does not pass the smell test. And this one just didn't pass it for me. If you've noticed, if you followed me on the TikTok streets, if you noticed, I just jumped over here. last week, and in a full week, I think I'm almost at 3,000 followers. People need to know answers. They need to understand what's going on. So every single one of you here, pat yourself on the back, the head, the shoulder. Welcome to the awakening. And when I say that, you know something didn't sit right. When I start getting emails saying, oh my God, I think this guy's actually innocent after watching you guys. Oh my God, I don't think this is really a true case after watching you guys. People are waking up to the possibility, open minded, that maybe this was not legit, not constitutional, and definitely something was wrong. So I just want to pull it back a minute, and I want to talk real quick. You know, this whole statement that Trump made, I mean, I can go through and break it down, but the point I want to make, I know it's tiny, guys, sorry. The point I want to make is in there, thrown in all this stuff, Trump says there's no explanation. There is no nothing. Did anyone catch that? There's no nothing. There's no murder weapon. There's no confession. There's no connecting him to these individuals. You heard the prosecutor. He was not stalking. You heard the prosecutor say that he can't put him in that house. But yet, here is a guy sitting in jail for 2.8 years with nothing. Absolutely zilch. Now, remember, Trump did not say Brian was innocent. No, not at all. Not at all. He does not say that. But what he is saying is something ain't right down in y'all's backyard out in Idaho, especially Moscow or Boise. And even though, Kohberger may be innocent, may not be innocent, he didn't state anything of that. But in my humble opinion, I really think he's calling for justice in a very calculated way. Would you all agree? Pop a one or say yes. It's always good to get some feedback from the nest. Always. And this is one thing that we've talked over and over. If you are part of my replay crew, thank you. If you're driving home and you're listening to this right now, or you plan on listening it to on your way home or wherever, I'm going to try to keep these under 30 minutes, but I want to give you the highlights. Why all the secrecy? Do you think that that's what Trump is saying? Dudes, why are you over there in Idaho being so secret? What are you guys doing back, behind the barn? What are y'all doing out there? Because I will tell you, I made a video and it ruffled some feathers, guys. I didn't mean the state was liberal. Moscow is liberal. Boise is liberal. And that is one of the reasons why I moved away from Canyon County. It's right next to Ada County, right next to Boise, 10, 15 minutes right outside of there. And it was becoming extremely liberal. So what do? Pack up and move to Arizona. You guys know about Arizona, right? Okay, that explains a little bit of what I was saying on the liberal part, because they want to spread that liberalism all over Idaho, which has been a typically conservative state. Now, the leaders in Moscow are extremely liberal, and that was my point. Exactly my point. Now, whether you're liberal or Republican, independent, or even libertarian, that's not either near or here or there. It is about our constitutional rights. And this is the statement I believe Trump was making about this case, because I've never seen Trump comment on any true crime. And I'm trying to say that with a straight face, but that's very difficult in this situation, guys. It's just crazy. So, Trump's comment isn't just about Kohberger, it's about amplifying public distrust in a system that closes cases without closure, right? Think about that. SG says they don't have any paperwork, they don't have any documents, they don't even know what to say on the stand or in the court of law with being a witness statement, right? A victim statement, impact statement. So I think, obviously, I want you all to comment what you think, especially the replay crew. But, you know, this quote came from Truth Social. If you're not on Truth Social, you may be missing some things, and I'm on every single platform out there. I don't post on every single platform, but I like to watch what's going on at a higher level. So before sentencing, this is what Trump said. Before sentencing, I hope the judge makes Kohberger at a minimum explain why he did these horrible murders. There are no explanations. Well, let's think about this for a minute. There needs to be some law and order here. Would anybody agree? Because the background of this case is Kohberger, the media is shared, allegedly a total incel, totally rejected, ugly, creepy, single PhD student that unalived 4 college students in their sleep because they were beautiful and they rejected him. How much bullshit do we need to hear? I think we've heard enough. And emphasize, there's no motive. And a confession that's yes, no, yes, no, no, yes, no. Amazing. Yeah, Kohberger took that plea deal. He sure did, to get the death penalty off the table. Right? I mean, wouldn't you rather take life with parole than to avoid uh to avoid the death penalty? If you were given an option, knowing you didn't do this, maybe I need to sit in jail and figure out a way to gain new evidence or rescind my plea this Wednesday. The public totally expected a trial, and we got thrown out of left field, a curveball with the plea deal. We're not getting one. Maybe. Let me take that back. Maybe we will get a trial. So Trump is just he's capitalizing on his disappointment in this case with the judicial system. Here's the questions that remain that everyone wants to know, that everyone may never get. Why did he do it? Was he alone? And why no clear motive in the PCA? They arrested this guy with no motive. And his name came out of a hat from the FBI guys? And Payne just allowed ISP and FBI and all these other agencies to tell him what to write in there? Wow. I'm watching your comments. I'm seeing them. Don't worry, we'll get to them. Yeah, his family could have been threatened exactly like his defense attorney stated in their motion to leave the gag order in place. Right before the judge lifted the gag order, there was a motion to keep the gag order in place from Brian Kohberger for safety concerns. When we talk about law and order, think about historically how a crime happens or a court system process of a crime. So much secrecy here in those sealed documents that they don't want us to know due to national security. Think about this. Trump's strategic messaging here that I saw, that I thought, that blew me away. Why would he use a crime case to reinforce his role as a protector of our country? Think about that. He is the leader of our free world, and he gives a quote about a true crime case. He is reinforcing his role as a protector. He's watching. He's watching what Idaho's doing. You know, I could have put up a picture here with Trump saying, I speak for the people. He wants justice with answers, not just closure. I really believe that's what he was saying this morning. In this anti-system rhetoric has to stop. The shady courts, the real stories hidden, elites letting killers off easy. Those are just 3 things that I wrote down in this anti-system rhetoric over and over and over again. How many shady plea deals are we going to see? How many? And guys, I get this. I talked to a prosecutor the other day, a district attorney in Idaho in a different county, and I get it. They have to decide who goes to jail, who gets charged. They can't house everybody in a crowded system, and they have to take the least of the most violent offenders, and they have to sometimes give them plea deals. You know, they have to give them. But why a person that was charged with murder, why give them a plea deal? Why? Why didn't they take their chances and go to a trial? Really makes me think, wow, Idaho, what is really going on? Right? I mean, the public trust in the justice system. This is just, I mean, this case is blown up to show you that maybe our justice system really is broken, as many of us already know personally. But is the public overall trust in the justice system, is this case opening and breaking new boundaries and setting new precedents? Abso-freaking-lutely. If you didn't look at all the constitutional violations that Anne kept trying to relay to this judge that kept saying, nope, 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 but he took most things under advisement. What is that? He'll go back, talk to a few judges that are either sitting on the bench, retired, case law, and then they'll make a decision. And, you know, it seemed like Judge Hippler didn't take that long to make decisions. It was very quick, in my humble opinion. I've been in a court case, and our judge took weeks to get back opinions to make sure they were doing what was in the best interest of the people. Trump, like I said, he didn't call Kohberger innocent or guilty. He just asked why. And this could actually be a signal to question law enforcement, distrust the DA's motives. Ask yourself, was this political? Ask yourself, there's something being hidden. And I'll even reference January 6th, which I'm going to get a lot of hate for, but I don't care. Maybe this channel isn't for you. And the narrative on January 6th, they're hiding the truth. Why do they keep hiding the truth? I can go on a tangent of a couple of other statements that Trump has made on the justice system corruption. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a Trump supporter, guys. I am a constitutional supporter. I believe in the Constitution of the United States of America. I swore an oath under that Constitution. And that oath is for life. It's not just a one-time thing that you give your oath to the Constitution of the United States. It's about standing up for what is right and just and true. So why is the public so interested in the justice system? We trust it. We're supposed to. And did you know that polls are vastly showing declining trust in courts, police, media? This isn't something new. This has been going on for a long time. Maybe this is the crux that we need in the crossroad to say, whoa, we need to stop and revamp and do the right thing here. You know, Trump just tapped into the mistrust like no other political figure. Had somebody else or a celebrity said, something's not right with this, it wouldn't have had the same impact. It's kind of like Trump standing there at the podium, and I can see him putting his fingers on his eyes and pointing it back to Idaho and saying, I see you. Have you guys ever seen a mom do that to their child, or somebody do that to somebody in authority? You know, they point their fingers at their eyes and they point them back at them and they say, I see you. Was this Trump's I see you moment? Some even say this case with Kohberger was rushed. I don't think it was rushed. Media manipulated, we know that. That checks the box. Potentially covering up a larger story. We went over this and we checked that box and we showed you receipts. This is truly closure without explanation. And it fuels the conspiracies. It makes us dig further. Yeah, I guess I can say I'm a digger into the case and what's happening around the case on a larger scale, because that's what fuels a conspiracy until we get to the truth. So there's many layers of interpretation in this one quote that he gave today. All it's basically saying, in my humble opinion, that I see, is that he wants accountability. Dig deeper. He's pressuring the justice system to justify its deal. He's signaling that basically something feels off, just like every one of us are here. Something is off. Is Trump, and this is a great question to ask you, test the little feeling of the hive here. Is Trump planting seeds of doubt in a case that should have been open and shut? What do y'all think? The parallel cases and political playbooks are at play big time. I mean, we can compare it to Epstein. I mean, I've been writing notes all morning about this. We can compare it to Epstein. What are they hiding? We can definitely, I'm just throwing these out there, guys. Hunter Biden, right? That was a two-tier justice. What about Kyle Rittenhouse? I've talked about him before on one of my streams. That was politicized prosecution. And Trump does have a pattern. Remember what I said about patterns? We've talked about them all the time. He has a pattern of weighing in on criminal cases just to score politic points or reinforce a system that's rigged, right? Think about it. Think about what he's saying. Now, is Trump really asking for justice, or is this a calculated way to show mistrust in the system? What do you guys think? Is this something that he's just pointing the finger at and showing us mistrust? Do you think Kohberger should explain why? Do you think that Kohberger should explain why he did this? What was his motive? And this is an honest question for everyone. Do you think he'll remain silent? Do you think he'll remain silent? I've got 5 major questions that I wrote down that I want you to think about before we go today. Do you think Kohberger should be forced to explain his motive before sentencing, even without a trial? Do you think he should be forced to explain? And this question really taps into the justice versus the legal process. Should the truth be demanded even without a jury? That's basically what the question's asking. And is Trump really seeking answers, or is he using this case to push distrust in the system? What is Trump's motive for releasing this statement? Is it political versus personal? Do you think he has a personal interest in this case, or is it political? And all you Trump haters can come on in and on the replay and say whatever you want. I'll respect whatever your opinion is, because that's what somebody truly grounded will do. Respect your opinion, even if it does not align with my opinion. And that's really what we all should be doing. We should be united to respect others' opinions. I'll get off my soapbox there. And why do you think the prosecution never revealed a motive in the Idaho 4 case? Was it strategic or, my word, suspicious? Of course, we all want answers, Sue, but this is a way to start that debate. What's the political climate like for this case? Why would he even mention Kohberger? He knows the sentencing is coming on Wednesday, but was this strategic or suspicious? Think about all the hidden details. This just encourages theories and speculations. Look what the media has done. Do you, as my viewers, do you trust the criminal justice system to give us the full truth in a high-profile case like this? Do you? It's the same thing like I said earlier. It's closure without answers. If this happened to your family, would you want answers? If Kaylee was your daughter, if Xana was your daughter, if Maddie was your daughter, if Ethan was your son, would you want answers? And my last question to all of you is, why do you think the public deserves more? Is justice by sentencing, would you rather have that, or would you rather have truth and transparency? I mean, this is kind of like a moral dilemma, guys. This moral dilemma drives the discussion, and it shares between all of us different values, totally different values. And I'll tell you why. When you're charged with taking the life of 4 individuals, it's not really about our justice system. It is a moral issue. Did you know that in our justice system there is a moral clause that a victim's impact statement can make? Because not was this just humanly wrong, this was a moral injury. If you've never heard of the term moral injury, look it up. Look it up. It is important as human beings, because a moral injury refers to the psychological, emotional, and spiritual suffering that arises when a person violates their own deeply held moral beliefs or witnesses something that does. As a victim myself in a court case in the state of Idaho, I told the judge at sentencing my victim's impact statement was a moral injury to my person. And the only reason it was a moral injury because it goes against every single belief that I was raised with, that I have, and that I've experienced all my life. That moral injury will never, ever have any meaning more at sentencing for any victim when you talk about a moral injury. And see, a lot of people aren't going to tell you the truth. When they stand before a judge and a judge hears moral injury, they're going to give an individual the highest form of justice the law will allow. Example, I don't believe in murder. I would never injure another individual by my own doing. Ever. And if somebody was murdered in my family, that would cause me a moral injury. And I believe that at sentencing, these victim impact statements are going to be hard because they don't even know what to say because of all the secrecy. They don't even know for sure. A moral injury is kind of like a soldier who goes to combat and later questions whether it was justified. That's a moral injury. It's like a nurse during the pandemic who had to choose which parents got care due to limited resources. It's like a whistleblower who's punished for exposing corruption. It's a cop who sees misconduct and is told to keep quiet. If you feel any of these things that I'm about to name off, that's a moral injury. Shame, guilt, betrayal, anger, loss in trust in self, leadership, or the system, isolation. And that's exactly what you're seeing right here. This is morally unjust on the American people. And I believe that is why Trump spoke out on it. Leave your thoughts, comments, questions. Y'all have been amazing this chat. I so appreciate every single one of you. And if you're not going to be on Birdie tonight, you're going to want to be. Get over to Birdie Bombshells in about 20 something minutes. He's going to have Devil's Advocates on. And Sammy T and I will be back on with him hopefully Tuesday or Thursday, definitely Sunday. And y'all little nesters, you have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. And this is Phoenix. Phoenix out.
Unlocking knowledge for you and me. The nest is rising strong and true. Sharing wisdom, me and you. Clap, clap, clap for the truth we seek. Every answer, week by week.
Yo, microphone check 1 2. This ain't no ordinary stream. From the ashes, Phoenix talks manifest in a dream. Got a growing channel, YouTube's where the wisdom resides. For all the nest members, no truth can never hide. She's an under detective on the digital beat, questioning the unthinkable, bringing fire to the heat. With a mind so advanced, highly intelligent and bold, part of the hive mind with birdie stories to unfold. Common sense is a superpower, cutting through the noise, unlocking closed minds, amplifying all our voices.
Phoenix,